looking for Marcus to be more consistent as a passer, just more consistent, because you have some of these games that are just stinkers, and then you have one game like that, and you're like, oh, wait a second, okay, like, oh, here we go, we're making progress.
Yeah, and I think it's one of those things too. We watched Jacoby Brissett have a really good game against the Atlanta Falcons as well last week. This defense is a defense that really has been struggling. And so if you're Marcus Mariota, you want to come in, take advantage of them in the way that you have, and now build off of that next week and show the consistency that you can be a quarterback who deserves that big deal.
So you mentioned the Colts against the Falcons, the Titans against the Falcons. Can we talk about the Falcons?
Sure.
Like, what's up with that? Because, considering how that division looked coming into the season, what's happened to the quarterbacks in that division, you would think if you're an Atlanta fan, oh, we can do this right now, but it's not popping for them. Why?
Well, if you look at Atlanta, it all starts with Matt Ryan. And Matt Ryan is a guy that can make big plays down the field, but we've seen him turn the ball over. And those things are still prevalent. But today, it was about defense. It was about the cornerbacks not being in the right position, not having the right technique to stop, whether it's Davis, A.J. Brown, some of these guys from making the big plays, and then they couldn't move the ball offensively. There's a 4th and 1 in the second half where they go to throw the football, and they don't even get it off. And so this team isn't executing in situational football moments, and Tim knows this. That's what NFL games come down to most times, and if you don't execute there, you can't win.
I think I'm probably most disappointed in that Atlanta defense. I mean, I really, the offense needs to play better. They need Matt Ryan to be more consistent, all of that stuff. But I thought when Deion Jones came back, I thought, okay, you know what? And then we had the injury to Keanu Neal a week ago. Mm-hmm. And so now maybe it's like, oh, hey, here we go again with guys being injured. But listen, that should be the identity of that team. Their head coach became a head coach because of how good he was as a defensive coordinator. Right. And then they've invested high draft picks on that side of the football. Right. And I just don't think that they're, they've fired coordinators. Now he's taken over. And I think that side of the ball has let them down. And I think that, sometimes, it kind of spills over on the other side of the ball.
You got to think about it too, right? You talk about those draft picks, whether it's Vic Beasley not really showing up lately for this team. Keanu Neal is now out. You lose Poole. Robert Alford goes to the Arizona Cardinals. And so there's so much of this defense that was really the foundation of what
made so much speed, right?
Of what made it good early. And those things went away. Guys got injured, and it kind of went bad. And so they said, okay, let's throw the whole baby away.
Minshew mania.
Incredible team win, awesome experience with those guys, just celebrating. A lot of times you take for granted, what wins feel like in that celebration with teammates. So it's an awesome experience.
First come from behind win, what does that mean to you?
It just shows our resilience as a team, when the offense is down early, defense is picking us up, and then vice versa. And, it just shows that, we can do that any week, and we can rely on each other that much more.
How much did the ground game help you guys today?
Oh, it was huge. That's what won us the game. Leonard, Rock, the whole offensive line, tight ends, they absolutely dominated. And that makes everything so much easier for an offense.
What was said at halftime? You guys came out able to run the ball. You made some passes, but had a drive for more than 10 minutes. What was able to turn that around?
Yeah, I think we just weren't going to freak out. We were down 11, I think. We got some points right before half. That was huge. And we knew we were going to get the ball back and have a chance to go get right back in the game. So I think that belief, never, doubting that we could be in it was huge.
Werner, walk us through that final drive. Well, looked like you got a little banged up. Crazy play. You get the 15-yard penalty as well. Just walk us through the emotions in the final minute.
Yeah, no, that was crazy. We knew I had to make some plays right there. Had the ball, I got tipped up when I got hit. That was crazy. I was on the ground. I didn't get to see it, so you kind of just listen. And if the crowd goes wild, it's bad. So then nothing really was said. So I knew we were good. Move, get the penalty, and then Dede runs an awesome route on the sail to really set it up, and just one of the big plays we had in the second half.
How did you guys execute the touchdown to O'Shaughnessy?
Oh, that was awesome, man. That was a play we felt really good about, and our guys protected it because it's a double pump, and then back to him. Timed out perfect. I was really proud of our execution there.
Did you get hit ankle, knee? Was just a quick little?
Yeah, I just got hit in the lower body. Just football stuff.
How crazy and stuff flying in front of you was that? Were things on that touchdown pass the right ball in the back of the end zone?
Oh, that was crazy. All of the initial read was covered. So you just try to make a play at that point, try to protect the ball first, but make a play. Raquel did an awesome job, keep working. He ran a flat, came back around, and then back out. It was awesome on him. I was really happy he could get his first touchdown.
You were, I guess, 3 potential sacks on that play. Did you have your eyes up forward the whole time?
I tried to for most of it because I know we got receivers that are working the whole time, and we had some big plays on that today. So, yeah, I was really happy with how they kept working for me.
How did Leonard's 81-yard run open up for you guys?
Oh, that was huge. We were kind of backed up at that point. We got a good run. O-line blocked it up, and then he did what he does. Once he gets, in the secondary one-on-one, he's hard to deal with. So that was huge for him. I was really happy for him to really get rolling. I know, he's been getting frustrated, but man, it was an awesome day for him, and I couldn't be more happy for him.
You guys.
I'm with you at home. I wish we could actually watch the whole thing.
We wanted so much more.
It's time for final thoughts. You're up first.
Kansas City, go get Jalen Ramsey. You're playing in Detroit today. You can't stop Matt Stafford. He has 3 touchdowns, over 290 yards. Galladay is having a holiday in your end zone whenever he wants to. He has the go-ahead touchdown. Go get a guy who can stand on one side and shut out the team's #1 wide receiver. We know you can score points. Right now, this defense isn't up to championship-level play. If you want to beat the New England Patriots in these playoffs, you have to get a guy who can stand out there, and right now, you do not have it.
Only question would be, what would Jacksonville want from KC? And
Everything.
Everything.
Go and give him Tyreek.
Give him some.
We see. You don't need Tyreek to have
Ron
offense.
Clark playing GM and
Go and
agent
give him
over here.
Tyreek.
Look at that.
All right, Tim Hasselbeck, when you think of Week 4, what jumps out to you?
Well, first I got to get Gardner Minshew, that image out of my head before I can have a final thought. I mean, that's incredible. Okay, let's not lose sight of that.
Never.
You know what? My final thought is Rams defense. Where did you go? Did you think this was your bye week? I don't understand what happened to you. 6 touchdowns to this Tampa Bay Bucs offense. I know Ryan is telling us that Jameis is close to getting that new deal. However, I just think that you just didn't show up and tackle. You didn't show up and find out where Chris Godwin was. That disrupt the rhythm of Jameis Winston. I feel like when I watch the Rams, they rush the passer so well. They're so disruptive with your pass protection. They have a good edge rusher. They have the best interior rusher. And it seemed like Jameis Winston just kind of was comfortable all day long. That was probably the biggest surprise for me.
Yeah, it's just one thing to lose, but it's something else to give up 55 points. Granted, last came on a
55. When you score, it's 50.
50?
55.
55 is what they
It was
gave
6 touchdowns against your defense.
There you
right?
go. All right, Tim, Ryan, appreciate it. See you guys next week.
Thank you, my man.
All right,
Please,
see what
yes.
Gardner Minshew has on for us next week. But when this edition of SportsCenter rolls on, Derek Carr gets the Raiders off to a fast start in Indy, but then had a deep Hail Mary threat at the very end, couldn't get it. Panthers go on the road to get another win without Cam Newton. 16-10 is your final. Wow, what are the Panthers doing right now?
Kyle, what's it say about you guys to start 0-2, switch a quarterback, and then win 2 games on the road to even up?
I don't think it says anything about the quarterback position. I think it says a lot about the fight in our team. I think that as a team, we were close those first 2 weeks, right? There was just little mistakes here and there, but we were always in those games. And I think that the last 2 weeks, we've just found a way to respond. We found a way to win, and we found a way to make those plays that we need to make.
Even when bad stuff happens, the thing I love about Kyle is he's very poised and under control. And, we got to limit some of those, but at the end of the day, that gives us a lot of confidence when your quarterback, when your leader is, able to continue to move the ball down the field even after bad stuff happens.
All right, so some pretty good company here for Allen in terms of what he's been able to do lately. He improves to 3-0 as a starter in his NFL career. Panthers have been an underdog in all 3 of those games. Just the second quarterback in the Super Bowl era to win his first 3 NFL starts, all coming as an underdog. The other to do so, the reigning MVP, Patrick Mahomes. All right, RC, on the other side of this was Deshaun Watson, and during his career, when he's been healthy, he's shown ability to lead the team down the field in late game situations and win. Wasn't able to do it here today. What did you see from him?
Well, today it wasn't only about not showing up late game. It was also some missed throws earlier. And I'll show you one here to Will Fuller that he has to hit, and he has hit in the past. So right now, you're going to get a quarter-half defense out of the Carolina Panthers. So he knows he's getting this. The route is going to be a very simple route. He's going to have a high-low here with the two inside guys and the post over the top. In throwing this post, he's going to be reading Eric Reed, who is right here. Now, we'll see the play start to develop. As the play develops, we have two guys go across. Now you're expecting that Eric Reed will be helping inside because you can see right now that Ross Cockrell has outside leverage on Fuller. If we let the play run, you'll see that Eric Reed doesn't get deep. And so this is where Deshaun Watson has to hit on this route. Now, here we're going to see they're going to show pressure from up top. In showing that pressure, you're going to draw the protection away from Eric Reed. And we're going to get a twist here by Vernon Butler to come around. Eric Reed on the outside. Deshaun Watson first has to recognize this and slide the protection, but also has to understand that in stepping up, there will be pressure in his face. Vernon Butler comes around, gets the ball out. It's a sack, fumble, recovery for Eric Reed. He was a little off physically today, but also mentally in that situation. You have to understand where the rush is coming from, and if you don't pick it up, protect the ball in the pocket. Deshaun Watson wasn't on this stuff today, and when you get sacked and hit as many times as he did, it could take it out of you.
What do you see from Deshaun so far?
I think Ryan's right. He missed throws. You know, I mean, we saw the one there to Fuller, missed one to Hopkins later in the game. Had fumbles in the pocket. I thought he was holding on to it. You know, that offensive line in Houston has been criticized a bunch. But sometimes the quarterback can help the offensive line with the tempo that he plays with, kind of the clock in his head, as well as his ability to just, you know, manage it a bit. And so when you look at that, you know, the tape that Ryan just showed us, you know, sometimes the quarterback is kind of making it harder for the offensive line, and I think that's, you know, a pretty good example.
Do you think, Tim, that comes from guys like Carson Wentz, Deshaun